Hello, I'm Ben. Welcome to the channel. So today we're going to talk briefly about keto and what a keto diet is. I've used them twice in the past when I had to cut weight for a situation or just from a health standpoint to get into a better place health-wise. And I see questions all the time because I'm in groups on Facebook and other things around keto diets, and people tend to try to make things difficult. So let me give you the short of it. I intend this video to be a very short video, so let's get in it. A ketogenic diet basically involves consuming a very low amount of carbohydrates and replacing them with fat. That fat will help your body start using fat as energy, so it will continue to do that and burn fat more readily. Health benefits can include weight loss and lowering the risk for certain cancers. The ketogenic diet, or the keto diet, is a low-carb, high-fat diet. In fact, studies show that this type of diet can help lose weight and improve your health. They've had benefits against diabetes, cancer, epilepsy, and Alzheimer's disease. This is proven in studies. Here's a detailed beginner's guide to look at the diet. So you can look this up on healthline.com. It's a decent little site that has stuff that's not based on trying to sell you a product. So if you check that out, the basic 4 rules of keto are the following. The ketogenic diet is a very low-carb, high-fat diet. It shares similarities with the Atkins and low-carb diets. Frankly, I think all three are the same name for the same thing. Atkins has a few different things you can buy from them specifically to sell their products. But some of their products are very good if you're trying to do a keto diet. So just know, especially if you have a sweet tooth, they have things that are very low carb and no sugar that can get you through that. And that's the biggest piece, is you want to make it normal to do these things. So if you find some things that are sweet that get you past needing sugar, that's a big benefit. It involves drastically reducing carbohydrate intake, replacing with fat. This reduction in carbs puts your body into a metabolic state called ketosis. That's where they get the name keto from. When this happens, your body becomes incredibly efficient in burning fat for energy. It also turns fat into ketones in the liver, which can supply energy to your brain. It helps support a healthy liver and healthy brain. Ketogenic diets can cause significant reductions in blood sugar and insulin levels. This, along with increased ketones, has some health benefits. Now, if you want to really make the keto diet an extremely beneficial thing, you can also use intermittent fasting with it. Typically, what I would do is I wouldn't eat between midnight and 2 p.m., and then I would have just those hours left after 2 p.m. before midnight to eat, and you eat very clean and very lean. I didn't eat as much fat. I don't typically eat as much fat as what a lot of people do, but if you eat Spam and you eat stuff like that, you can get increased fat amounts. I eat lean beef anyway and lean deer meat anyway, so you don't have as much fat in that, but it's still good for the keto diet. Standard ketogenic diet, which is called SKD, is a very low carb, moderate protein, high fat diet that typically contains 70% fat, 20% protein, and only 10% carbs. A clinical ketogenic diet involves periods of higher carb refeeds, such as 5 ketogenic days followed by 2 high carb days. Speak to your doctor, your nutrition about this. I don't think that's a good idea, because once you start moving forward and increasing the ketones, you want to keep that up. And if you fall off every couple of days, that makes it more likely that you're going to fall off altogether. Okay? Targeted ketogenic diet, which is TKD, allows you to add carbs around workouts. So you're burning those for energy when you're doing that. You're teaching your body to burn those carbs and sugars for energy, as well as use the fat for energy. And then it's the last one, which is high protein ketogenic diet. It's similar to a standard ketogenic diet, but it includes more protein. The ratio is often 60% fat, 35% protein, and 5% carbs. Only the standard and high protein ketogenic diets have been studied extensively. Clinical or targeted ketogenic diets are more advanced methods and primarily used by bodybuilders or athletes. I would stay away from that. I would stick with the two that are mostly studied, because those folks that use those other diets, they're also using other things as well, typically, that would impact their thyroid production, their hormone production, and how their body is handling things. So it's not a normal situation, if you get my drift. What is ketosis? Ketosis is a metabolic state in which your body uses fat for fuel instead of carbs. I think they've said that enough times. It occurs when you significantly reduce your consumption of carbohydrates, limiting your body's supply of glucose, which is sugar, which is the main source of energy for the cells. Following a ketogenic diet is the most effective way to enter ketosis. Generally, it involves limiting carb consumption around 20 to 50 grams per day and filling up on fats such as meat, fish, eggs, nuts, and healthy oils. I stay away from the oil. I go with the meat, fish, and eggs primarily, and stay away from the rest. It's also important to moderate your protein consumption. This is because protein can be converted into glucose if consumed in high amounts, which may slow your transition into ketosis, which is why I said earlier, you may want to leave those other things and stick with the simple ones. Practicing intermittent fasting, here it is, could help you also enter ketosis faster. There are many different forms of intermittent fasting, but the common method involves limiting food intake to around 8 hours per day and fasting for the remaining 16. That's what I do. It's healthy. I still drink water and coffee during that period of time, or even a Coke Zero if I so deem, but you just don't eat anything during that time. Blood, urine, and breath tests are available, which help determine whether you've entered ketosis by measuring the amount of ketones produced by your body. Certain symptoms may also include or indicate that you've entered ketosis, including increased thirst, dry mouth, frequent urination, and decreased hunger or appetite. And that you really do see by day 5 or 6. You kind of have to get up and make yourself eat. But know that you won't go to the bathroom as often either because you're not eating as much. You're not eating around the clock. That concerns some people. So you're basically going to the bathroom a normal amount, but you will be urinating more often. Summary: ketosis is a metabolic state which your body uses fat for fuel instead of carbs. In case you don't know that yet, modifying your diet and practicing intermittent fasting can help you enter ketosis faster. And certain tests and symptoms can also determine whether you've entered ketosis. So a lot of people ask about losing weight and everything else. The biggest thing about these diets is it's a lifestyle. It's really not a diet. If you do this all the time and you show some dependency on that and some discipline around that, it's easy to actually get into the mood of this because the food is not a bad choice. What you're going to stop, though, is eating a lot of the processed foods and a lot of processed sugars. If you're interested in this, it's definitely great for folks that may be diabetic or pre-diabetic, which the majority of the population probably is. So check that out. It's safe because it's using food and not drugs. And most people's mental situations can be corrected with food. This has been proven in many studies, both medical and psychological. If just a proper diet, less sugar, your body will respond better and act more regular. So in regularity, consistency is what you want to sustain health. But the biggest thing about a keto or ketogenic diet is it helps your body get into a situation where it's aggressively eating cells that aren't beneficial cells. So there's tons of articles about that. To take a look. I enjoy it myself. It's been useful. I've, just point of talking, I've lost 40 pounds in the last year, not even intentionally, just because I've been sticking to this type of situation. And I'm trying to end this year far better than last year. I didn't want to get that lean, but, with the issues with health and food and everything else that's going on, people are eating more food product now than actual natural foods. Sticking to these rules keep you away from that. And those food products are how you poison yourselves, which causes more cancer and do those things. So if you also want to impact your blood pressure and triglyceride levels, this is a great way to do it. What they'll tell you at the doctor is you need to eat more salt. You're not getting enough sodium. That's what they tell you. So check it out. It's something worth looking into. If you want to get away from having to use a bunch of other things to manage your situation, or if you tried a bunch of diets, and that's why I don't like that they call it a keto diet. This is actually just a way of living. If you do this, it's just healthier. And if you empty your house of all the things that you don't need, you actually can still eat bacon. You can still eat red meat. You can have a burger with a slice of cheese on it. You can do those things. But you reduce all the things that are very complex and your body is going to store sugar. And what a lot of people don't know is they'll lower their sugar intake, but they'll also lower their fat intake, and they're taking in carbohydrates. Well, those carbohydrates are turned directly into sugar and stored as sugar and fat. So you want to do what you can to fight that. This is a great way to do it. If you like subject matter such as this, please please subscribe. I study things often, things that people ask me about. I'm happy to talk and look into it. But this is one that questions keep coming about. So take a look at it for yourself and subscribe. Be good.